All right, the court is calling cause number 2020 DCM 2823. This is a hearing on a motion filed by the Attorney General. This is a suit affecting parent-child relationship. The parties are, in this case, are Abraham Botello and Jubilee Ramirez, who are present before me on this Zoom application. Let me make sure that both parties are here. Mr. Botello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. Ms. Ramirez, can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. It's that I don't see you on my monitor, so. All right, the court is calling this case for a hearing here today. My name is Rodriguez. I am the associate judge for the Title 4D court here in El Paso, Texas. We're proceeding on this hearing based on a Zoom application, since according to the Texas Supreme Court Council of Judges administration, we're not permitted to conduct in-person hearing because of the pandemic crisis. That's why we're not appearing in court today. However, we are appearing in court before me on this Zoom application. We'll remind parties that pursuant to Texas rules, we must conduct hearings and have these hearings transmitted live through the YouTube channel. That is to comply with the rules that we have to keep open courts available. However, as we finish this hearing, this live stream from the YouTube channel will be taken off the screen. I'm also recording the evidence on the computer recording system. This is the only recording that is permitted by law. I'll ask parties not to talk over each other, talking at one time, because sometimes the audio doesn't work as well as it should. And we may have some technical difficulties in getting the recording. I ask parties to conduct themselves as if they were in court, because you are in fact in court before me. For the basic ground rules in this case, I'll ask the Attorney General to make an announcement on this case.
Lindsay Kaplan for the state, Your Honor, ready?
All right. Mr. Botello, are you ready to proceed today, sir?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ramirez, are you ready to proceed today?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to ask both parties to please raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Since I can't see you on my screen, I will assume that you are raising your right hand. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Ms. Ramirez?
I do.
Good, thank you. All right, both parties have been sworn in and are ready to proceed. Go ahead, Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state requests that the court take judicial notice of the attached acknowledgement of paternity attached as Exhibit A to the original petition affecting the parent-child relationship, AOP, that was filed with the court on June 15th of 2020.
All right, I do see the acknowledgement of paternity that was signed by both parties about the time the child was born. It does have the signature of Mr. Botello and Ms. Ramirez. This document does appear to be in proper form. I will take judicial notice of the acknowledgement of paternity.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Ms. Ramirez as a witness.
Okay, Ms. Ramirez, go ahead.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Jubilee Ramirez.
Who are you the mother of?
Athena Botello.
Who does she live with?
Me.
How long has she lived with you?
10 months.
How old is she?
She's 10 months.
Do you live in El Paso, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any plans to move outside of El Paso, Texas for work or educational opportunities?
Yes.
What type of opportunities?
I'm going to school to be a teacher, and if I can find a job, I would like the ability to leave El Paso
When are you expected to graduate?
next fall.
Have you received any tentative job offers outside of El Paso?
Not yet, ma'am.
Do you have relatives outside of El Paso?
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
North Carolina and Dallas.
Does Athena have a relationship with your relatives in North Carolina?
Yes, ma'am.
Does Athena have any friends outside of El Paso?
Friends, no.
Does Mr. Boteo have relatives outside of El Paso?
I'm not sure.
Do you know if Mr. Boteo has plans to move outside of El Paso?
No, ma'am, I don't know.
Have you been able to participate in major decisions with Mr. Boteo regarding Athena in the past?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? You kind of broke up.
Okay. Have you been able to make parenting decisions with Mr. Boteo?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to continue to make parenting decisions with Mr. Boteo in the future?
What do you mean?
Like regarding Athena's general health, education, and welfare, would you like to make decisions with Mr. Boteo regarding Athena?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to get along with Mr. Boteo about parenting Athena?
Yes, ma'am.
How often does Mr. Boteo visit?
Well, in the last month, he saw her twice because we had broken up. But before that, he was seeing her every day.
When did you separate? Boteo?
August?
Of
Mid-August? This year.
Of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Has Mr. Boteo provided support since the separation in August of 2020?
No, ma'am.
Have you requested that he provide support since the separation?
No, ma'am.
Would you like him to provide support?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if he's currently working?
As far as I know, yes.
How much does he earn at his job?
I'm not sure.
How many other children does he have?
2.
Are those children under the age of 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he quartered to support those children?
I'm not sure.
Do those children live with him?
No, ma'am.
Does he have health insurance for your child?
No, ma'am.
Do you have health insurance for your child?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of health insurance do you have?
I have Medicaid.
Do you have any other type of insurance?
No, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness at this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
The state calls Mr. Boteo. Sir, what is your name?
Abraham Botello.
And who is Athena Grace Boteo?
She is my daughter.
And who does she live with?
With her mom.
How long has she lived with her mom?
The 10 months she's been alive for.
Have you participated in major decision making regarding Athena?
Yes.
Would you like to continue to participate in major decisions regarding Athena?
Yes.
Are you able to co-parent with Mr. Ramirez?
Yes.
How often do you visit Athena?
Like she said in the last month, like I've seen her 2 times, but before that I was seeing her every day.
And when did you separate from Ms. Ramirez?
Like last month. It's been a month.
And have you provided support since the separation? Have you provided support, sir, since the separation?
No.
Are you working?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I work at the shack on the crane.
How much do you earn at that job?
Right now, I earn $10 an hour.
$10 an hour? Do you work a 40-hour work week?
Roughly on like 35.
Do you ever work 40 hours?
Every once in a while, yes, I do work 40 hours.
But you usually work 35 hours?
Yeah, just about 35, 36 hours a week.
Do you have any other children?
Yes, I do.
How many?
2.
Are
2 of
those
them.
children under the age of 18?
Yes.
Do those children live with you?
No.
Are you quartered to support those children?
Yes.
Do you have health insurance for your children?
No. Well,
Does your employer offer insurance?
no. Not that I know of.
Do you know if Athena has health insurance now?
I believe she does.
Do you know what type of insurance she has?
That Medicaid, just that's all I know. To be honest.
Do you know if there's any other type of insurance available for her?
I don't think so.
Do you have any plans to leave El Paso, sir, for work or educational opportunities?
If the opportunity presents itself, yes.
Do you have relatives outside of El Paso?
Just in Juarez, but not in the States. So.
Does Athena have a relationship with your relatives in Juarez?
No, not so much. No.
Would you like her to have a relationship with your relatives in Juarez?
Maybe. I don't really go a lot, so.
Have you ever taken her to Mexico?
No.
Would you like the option to take her to Mexico?
Yeah, I would like that option for sure.
Do you feel that it's in your daughter's best interest to go to Mexico?
Not really. I mean, it doesn't really affect me in any way. My immediate family is here, so.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other questions?
No other questions for either party at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Botello, when was the last time you visited with Athena?
This last Friday, I believe.
Okay, that's Friday. And how long a time period did you visit with her?
It was from 11 to about 2:30. That's when I dropped her off.
Okay. Okay, you said you dropped her off here, so you were able to take Athena with you?
Yes,
Where did you take her?
to my house.
That's here in El Paso.
Yes, here. Yes.
Okay. Did you and Ms. Ramirez something that you and she worked out as far as visiting with her?
Yes.
Um, what is your work schedule? You said that you work 35 hours. You took her with you last Friday from 11 to 12 to 30. Were you not? You weren't working during that time period?
No, sir, I wasn't. My shifts change a lot. I usually work on Tuesdays, but they gave
Okay.
me today off, and
All right.
and then I work the rest of the week.
Okay. Um,
So
is this something that you and Ms. Ramirez, as far as visitation, can you all work that around, or do we have to set days and times?
I think we can work it out. I think we can.
All right. Tell me about your other children. How old are your other children? Are they under 18 years of age?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Are you, is there a court order for those other children?
Yes, sir, there is.
Okay. How much in child support do you pay?
Honestly, I I try not to look at it, so it's like roughly like two 30 for like both,
Okay.
something like
All right.
that.
But there is a court order that obligates you to pay child support.
Yes, there is. Yes. Okay.
Now, are your two other children, are they health insurance?
To my knowledge, yes, they do.
Okay. Does your employer provide health insurance for your dependents?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Ramirez, I have some questions for you as well. Um, do you have any issue with working out visitation with Mr. Boteo? Do they all talk about visitation? Is there any
I have no issue talking about visitation with him. I would just rather have set days for him to see her.
okay? What days would you propose?
No, just kind of like the standard court order that they would issue, like the first, third, and fifth.
Well, how old is that?
She's only 10 months.
Okay. Well, that's then there is what we call a standard visitation schedule that provides for every other, well, the first, third, and fifth weekend of each month, holidays and things of that nature. Well, that usually, visitation schedule usually for a child that's over the age of 3. Um, are you suggesting that the standard visitation schedule would be appropriate at this time?
At this time, no, because I don't want her spending the night just yet.
Okay. So the standard visitation schedule would not apply, would not work out as far as you're concerned.
Mhm.
So what days would you propose that Mr. Boteo visit with the child?
Fridays, like
Okay.
how we have been doing it for the last 2 weeks.
Okay. How about during the weekend? Any problem during the weekend?
Excuse me?
About the weekend, Saturday or Sunday?
That would be fine. I would just don't want the baby spending the night yet.
Okay, no overnight visitation.
Hmm.
And for a couple of hours, like Mr. Boteo said, maybe about 2, 3 hours?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you. Any other questions for either party?
We could also work out on his days off, just so that I know for sure he's the one that's going to be with her.
Okay,
And he's
but
not.
do you know in advance when his days off are?
No, sir, but he's more than welcome to let me know.
Okay, Mr. Boteo, do you have any? Is your days off? They pretty flexible, or do you know when you'll be?
They kind of let me know like 3 days before the week
Okay,
starts. sometimes
Right.
2 days before the
Right.
week starts.
Okay. So
So
what about, okay, what about what she's suggesting that every, this out, Saturdays, I mean, on Fridays, Saturdays, couple of hours, Friday, Saturday, with you, Mr. Mateo?
yeah, that's fine. I would just have to see like at what time of the day I work. Sometimes I work in the morning and sometimes I work at night. So
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Any other questions, Ms. Kaplan, for either party?
The state has no other questions for either party at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. All right, based on the, anything else that either party wants to tell me? Ms. Vargas, do you have anything else that you wish to tell me, ma'am?
And these visitations would
I mean,
apply
Ms.
every
Ms.
week.
Ramirez, I'm sorry.
These
Go ahead, ma'am.
visitations would apply every week, right? So every Friday or every
Well,
day he has.
well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, that's why I was asking all parties to give me an idea of when, what kind of visitation would work out. And I think both of you pretty much indicated that you all can work out the visitation schedules between yourselves. There's a couple of things I don't want to happen. I don't want that child to be removed from El Paso County, taken, or in other words, that child to be taken to Juarez or anywhere in Mexico. And all visitation to occur here in El Paso County, Texas. So this is the time to tell me what kind of visitation rights you want Mr. Botero to have. If you can work it out between yourselves, that's fine with the court. Courts are always uh, willing to go ahead and whatever parties are willing to can come up with a visitation schedule. That's always, if you all can work out the visitation between yourselves without getting into any sort of arguments or fights about it. So that's what I'm trying to get from both of you as to what kind of visitation rights you, specific dates that you want him to be able to visit with the child. Otherwise, I'll leave it up to both of you to agree upon.
Um, so my thing is I would rather just have a set schedule as to when he's gonna see her,
Okay, all right,
just
well,
because
tell
I
me
think
what
it
the
would be
what is it that you want the set schedule to be?
maybe every other weekend, Friday, Saturday, like for his hours, just so that I'm able to make plans ahead of schedule rather than just waiting a week before.
Okay, Friday, Saturday, every other Friday, every other Saturday, right?
Mhm.
Times. What time on Friday?
I mean, the same, we could do 11 to 3 Fridays.
What if he's working during that time?
I mean, I'm more flexible. I would just rather be okay with like those 2 days
Okay,
every other
Mr.
week.
Boteo, all right, Mr. Boteo, would that work with you, sir?
yes, sir. As long as we can work with what time I can pick her up or whatever,
Okay, well,
that's
she
fine.
just indicated Friday, Saturday, every other Saturday, every other Friday from 11 to 3.
I just don't know. I mean, that's fine. I can let my job know.
Okay.
I'm more flexible with the hours. I just really specific about the days.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get, Ms. Margaret. I'm sorry, Ms. Ramirez. I'm going to leave it up to both of you to be flexible with each other.
That's fine, sir.
Okay. Visitation will be at whatever times, places, parties can agree upon. And then once the child turns 3 years of age, then it'll be the standard visitation schedule.
Yes, sir.
It'll be, okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint both parties, joint managing conservators of the child. Ms. Ramirez will have the primary possession. child. No geographical restriction. Visitation, reasonable times and places. And, all right, child support obligations, what is the state's recommendation on this matter?
Your Honor, based on the income stated of $10 an hour and a 35-hour work week with credit for 2 other children that Mr. Bateo is quartered to support, with credit for a prorated cash medical of $45. The guideline child support obligation is $209 a month to begin October 1st, 2020. A medical support obligation of $45 a month to begin October 1st, 2020. And for Mr. Ramirez to continue to apply for maintained government insurance for the benefit of the child in this case, and a retroactive child support judgment taken from August 1st of 2020 until today in the amount of $418. That was calculated by taking the current child support amount of $209 for the past 2 months to be repaid at $25 a month until paid, also beginning October 1st, 2020. This is the recommendation of the state regarding the support aspects.
All right. All right, Mr. Botello, you heard the recommendation of the state that I set child support at $209 a month, medical support at $45 a month. That's to cover the government insurance for the child. A judgment for back child support, $418 to be paid at a rate of $25 a month. All these payments to commence October 1st. Do you agree with that recommendation, sir?
If your honors find it deemable, I guess, if you find it right, that's
I'm
fine
sorry,
with me.
sir. I didn't. You're breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
If you find it deemable, I guess, like if it's okay with you, I mean that's fine, I guess. I'm not gonna.
Okay. All right, Ms. Vargas, you heard. I'm sorry, Ms. Keep calling because I see Vargas on the screen. Ms. Ramirez, do you agree with the recommendations, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, the recommended amount due appears to be in line with the child support guidelines of the state of Texas Family Code. So we'll follow recommendations setting child support, medical support, granting a judgment for retroactive support and payment on that judgment as recommended. All these payments to commence October 1. Mr. Boteo, all payments have to go through the state, to the court registry, the state disbursement unit. Do not pay Ms. Ramirez directly because you will not receive credit for direct payments. Okay. All right. Anything else in this matter, Ms. Kaplan?
Yes, so just to clarify, visits are at reasonable times and places as the parties agree, and the standard possession orders to apply when the child turns 3 years old, and the child's not to be removed from El Paso County, Texas, and all visitation is to occur in El Paso County, Texas.
Okay, the visitation is reasonable times and places for the time being. When a child turns 3 years of age, it'll be standard visitation. One thing, as far as removing that child from El Paso County, the only restriction is not to take that child to Juarez or to the Republic of Mexico. Anything else?
Nothing further from the state.
All right. All right, Ms. Kaplan, if you will go ahead and prepare the order as I have rendered it today, I will sign it once I get it. Once I receive it in my office, the order will then be filed with the clerk's office and copies will be sent to the parties. Okay. Is there anything Is that anything else?
When would visitation start? This week?
Visitation starts this week.
Okay, and then there's no geographical restrictions on my part, right?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Kaplan, go ahead, prepare the order. I'll sign it today. That will conclude our hearing for today. Parties are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I see Mr. Knopf is back.
Yes, sir. I think we're ready for a default hearing on the Vargas case.
Okay, let's see, Ms. Vargas is there. Yes, I see her. And apparently Mr. De La Paz Lopez Gerardo is not present. He's not in the waiting room.
He's in the jail and
Okay, that's pretty much what we have indicated here. All right, let me go ahead and call the case. Then we'll go ahead and start with the testimony in this matter.
okay.
All right, the court is calling cause number let's see, 2020 DCM 2821. This is a hearing on a petition or motion filed by the Attorney General's office. This is a suit affecting parent-child relationship with an acknowledgement of paternity. There appears to be one minor child before the court. Record reflect that Mr. De La Paz Lopez was served with citation. According to the return, he was served back on July the 23rd of this year. Early, he was served at the jail annex here in El Paso, Texas. Ms. Vargas is present before me today. There appears to be no response filed by Mr. De La Paz Lopez, at least none that is in the court system. And he is not present. This matter was scheduled for a hearing today, September 22nd at 1 o'clock. It is now 1:50, that's 1:50 in the afternoon, and he is not present. Mr. Canal, ready to proceed in this matter?
Yes, state is ready to proceed on a default hearing.
Okay, Ms. Vargas, are you ready to proceed in this matter?
Yes,
Is your correct last name Vargas or is it Baragas?
it's Vargas. It's Janie Vargas de la Paz.
Okay, you broke up a little bit. It's Vargas
Janie Vargas de la Paz.
de La Paz. Okay, all right. For some reason we have you as a Baragas. I don't know why that happened. All right, okay. Ms. Vargas, would you please raise your right hand, ma'am? Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, Mr. Knopf, go ahead.
At this stage, the state will offer the following acknowledgement of paternity for the child before the court today. I'm sending it by email for in-camera inspection and ask the court take judicial notice of this acknowledgement, which has been on file with the Bureau of Vital Statistics for the statutorily appropriate amount of time.
Okay. All right, the court will take judicial notice of the acknowledgement of paternity in this matter.
State calls Ms. Jeannie Vargas. Ma'am, could you please state your name for the court?
Janie Kimberly Vargas de la Paz.
What is the name of your child before the court today?
Adeline Rose de la Paz.
Who is the father of this child?
Gerardo de la Paz.
Could there be anybody else?
No.
Where is Mr. De La Paz today?
Right now he's in jail. He's in annex.
Do you know when he was first incarcerated?
March 19 or other.
Of this year?
Yes.
Are you When did you and Mr. Vargas separate as a couple?
It's De La Paz. Sorry. His last name is De La Paz, and we're not, we're not separated. We're still together.
So prior to Mr. De La Paz's incarceration, were you two living together?
No.
Are you two married?
Yes.
Where does the child presently live?
Here with me.
And who's making the day-to-day decisions for the child?
Me.
What's Mr. De La Paz's relationship like with the child?
It's perfect. Well, when she would see him, like she would get happy. They would play a lot. It's perfect.
Has there been any instances of family violence or domestic unrest in the past 2 years?
They have that on court, but it was an accident that we had gone through, and they have it as aggressive assault or something like that. And that's why he's in jail, because of our accident.
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. Could you just repeat that?
We had an accident, and that's why he's in jail, because like it was endangerment of a child, and it was like aggressive assault or something like that.
Has Mr. De La Paz ever been violent towards you?
No.
Has he ever been violent towards the child?
No.
Would you have any safety concerns about leaving the child alone with Mr. De La Paz?
No.
If you were to have your choice in the matter, how would visitation between Mr. De La Paz and the child occur?
Well, whenever he can, like whenever he wants, it would be fine.
And changing gears a little bit, how is the child covered for health insurance?
Right now, it's the government. They like. I don't have anything else, just government.
So do you have access to any private health insurance?
No.
Do you know if Mr. De La Paz does?
No.
Do you know if Mr. De La Paz is making any money at this time, if he's earning any income?
No, he doesn't.
Does he have any outside financial assets which could provide him resources right now?
No.
Does Mr. De La Paz have any other children?
Yes, but not with me.
How many other children does he have?
He has two with two different girls, and they live in Juarez.
Oh, say again?
He has two with two different girls, and they live in Juarez.
Okay. And since the child was born, has Mr. De La Paz supported the child?
Yes.
Has he provided, prior to his incarceration, obviously, the child's material needs?
Well, he would help me a lot, and like we would be together. But like since all that happened, he doesn't have money, so I had to start working, and that's how it was helping me.
Okay. And I believe that's everything for me. At this point, the state will rest subject to a brief closing argument and recommendations.
Okay. Ms. Vargas, do you know when he's going to be released from jail?
I really don't know. He had a court, but they had it was in English. He just knows Spanish, and he didn't understand anything. I had told him that he should have asked, but he doesn't know anything. We don't know anything. I tried to contact Adan Valdez, but he doesn't answer.
Okay. when he does get released from custody, from jail, is it your plans to live together with Mr. Vargas, Mr. De La Paz?
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned that you were married. When did you all get married?
2000. We have a year already. So I really don't know. It's April 29th, 2018 or 2019.
Okay. And assuming nobody has filed for divorce.
No.
And tell me the only reason that you all are not living together is because he's in jail right now.
He's in jail and I had some problems of probation. That's why I'm living with my dad right now.
Once he does get released from jail, is it your own plans to live together?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Any other questions, Mr. Cano?
Nothing further for this witness.
All right. I did see in the application or the motion that the acknowledgement of paternity was attached to the petition. Oh, I did take judicial notice. Now I'll go ahead and admit the acknowledgement of paternity. Okay. At this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and appoint both parties joint managing conservators of the child. Ms. Vargas will have the primary possession. Since, according to the testimony of Ms. Vargas, that it does appear the parties intend to get back together again once Mr. De La Paz is released from custody. So at this point, there's no need to determine any visitation rights. Or any other issue concerning, well, no other issues other than the primary custodian of the child. All right, child support obligations, what is the state's recommendation?
As neither party has access to private health insurance, state is going to recommend that the child continue to be covered under the appropriate government health care assistance policy. As Mr. De La Paz has been incarcerated for, I think, going on 6 months at this time, we believe that the normal presumption of minimum wage has been rebutted. Since we don't have an expected release date yet, state is going to recommend that both child support and medical support be set in the amount of $0, since Ms. Vargas indicated that Mr. De La Paz has been providing for the material needs of the child. Prior to this hearing, state is not going to request any retroactive support.
All right. All right. Because of his incarceration, child support is going to be set at $0. No child support and no medical support and no retroactive support. Okay. Anything else, Ms. Vargas? Anything else? Any questions that you have, ma'am?
No.
Okay.
No, that's
Ma'am.
and nothing else.
All right, very good. Okay, Mr. Knopf, if you will go ahead and prepare the order, I'll sign it today, or I'll sign it as soon as I receive it. It will be filed with the clerk's office, and copies will be sent to the parties. Anything else, Mr. Knopf?
Nothing further.
All right. In that case, that concludes our hearing for today. Thank you, Ms. Vargas, for your appearance and cooperation today. At this time, the hearing is closed. You are free. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.